Spoiler alert. The film kicks off with a high-stakes mission. A team of U.S. Navy SEALs storms into Aleppo, Syria, on a daring rescue op. Their target, a CIA operative held captive by a pro-Assad paramilitary squad holed up in a nearby building. The green light for this covert extraction comes straight from Ritter, a CIA officer embedded with the team on the ground in Aleppo. During the mission, the SEALs make a shocking discovery: the so-called captors aren't Syrian army at all, but Russian military operatives. As they exfiltrate, all hell breaks loose. An incoming RPG slams into their escape route, tearing the place apart and plunging the team into chaos and deafening confusion. Amid the blast, Lieutenant Greer crashes through a damaged hallway and finds herself cornered, surrounded on all sides by advancing Russian troops. Kelly makes a split-second call. He stays behind to rescue Greer. In a brutal close-quarters fight, he takes down several Russian soldiers, clearing a path. When the dust settles, the SEALs make a grim realization. The building isn't a safe house at all, it's a Russian arms depot. Suspicion flays instantly. Kelly turns on Ritter, accusing him of feeding them false intel that cost a teammate's life. 3 months later, we find Kelly with his pregnant wife, Pam. Is ready to hang up his uniform for good, planning to trade combat missions for a steady job at a private security firm and finally spend real time with his family. But peace doesn't last. In North Carolina, Kelly's teammates are hunted down and executed by unknown attackers, leaving a trail of blood and unanswered questions. Back at home with his wife, Kelly unwinds in the basement, stretched out on the couch, music in his ears, oblivious to the imminent threat closing in. A sudden power cut on his laptop snaps him to attention. Instinct kicks in. He grabs his gun and a flashlight, moving silently through the house. Upstairs, assassins slip into his bedroom and murder his wife in cold blood. In the chaos that erupts, Kelly fights like a cornered animal, taking down 2 of the intruders. A brutal close-range shootout with the attacker's commander leaves both men battered and bleeding on the floor. Out of ammo and on the brink, the commander chooses to flee, leaving Kelly alive but broken. Kelly crawls to the bedroom, only to find his wife already gone, her life stolen before he could save her. Later, his rush to a military hospital, clinging to life. Meanwhile, at a tense CIA briefing, officials uncover a chilling truth. Kelly is the 3rd member of his Special Operations Unit targeted within just 24 hours. Ritter tries to spin the narrative, suggesting the attacks could be written off as drug cartel or mafia payback. But Greer won't have it. She stands her ground, insisting her team was clean and had nothing to do with dirty money organized crime. Back in the hospital, Kelly drifts in and out of consciousness, tormented by flashes of memories with his wife. When he finally comes to, he turns to Greer, desperate, asking about Pam and the baby. Her mournful look says it all. They're gone. Pushing past the pain, Kelly demands a name: who ordered the hit? Greer can only shake her head. No one knows yet who's behind the slaughter. Kelly clenches his fists, confiding through gritted teeth that the attackers were trained Russian operatives and that one of them got away. Kelly tells her straight the man found dead in his wife's bedroom wasn't killed by his gun. Meanwhile, Secretary Clay pulls Greer aside with a pointed question. Can Kelly be trusted with classified intel? Back in rehab, John Kelly pushes his battered body through grueling physical therapy, determined to get back in the fight. At the next CIA briefing, a critical piece of the puzzle surfaces. During the Aleppo op, the SEALs took out Yuri Jarin on the 2nd floor, the son of Nikolai Jarin, a powerful Russian FSB chief. Now, it's clear. The Russian boss is hunting down the SEALs, exacting bloody revenge for his son's death. Ritter lays it all out: photos of the hit squad. Each attacker had ties to the FSB, but none were linked to Russia in any official capacity. Lieutenant Greer adds more pieces to the puzzle. 4 men stormed Kelly's house, but only 3 bodies were accounted for. The 4th vanished into the wind, and Ritter only handed over pictures of the ones who died. Coldly, Ritter shuts the door on it all. The CIA has no interest in digging deeper, he says. The case file is closed. Greer meets with Kelly and lays everything bare, every detail from the CIA meeting with Secretary Clay and Ritter. She slides him the photos of the Russian attackers she managed to get from Clay. The 4th man, she warns him, is now a ghost: no trail, no face, just shadows. She also reveals a deeper betrayal. The attackers had inside help from Andrei Vasilyev, a Russian diplomat so protected, his untouchable. That night, Kelly returns to his empty home, consumed by grief and drowning in guilt for his family's death. In the dead silence, he unlocks a hidden compartment and pulls out his stash of weapons and ammunition ready to settle the score himself. That same night, Kelly makes his move. He hunts down Andrei Vasilyev, the man who handed out passports to the FSB operatives, staking out his building while posing as a harmless drunk. When Vasilyev emerges and climbs into his convoy, Kelly slips into the shadows and tails them through the city streets. Then, without warning, he slams his vehicle into Vasilyev's car, sending it careening and engulfing it in flames. Kelly barges inside the burning car and pins him down, demanding the name of the last surviving assassin. Under the heat and pain, Vasilyev spits it out that his name is Viktor Roykov. But instead of begging, Vasilyev sneers, mocking Kelly that death will forever stalk him wherever he goes. Kelly silences him the only way he knows how, with a bullet. Kelly is swiftly arrested for Vasilyev's murder. Meanwhile, Ritter assures Secretary Clay that the CIA never leaked the story and never fed intel to Kelly. Suspicion falls on Greer, but Clay sees it differently. Kelly just accomplished what the entire agency couldn't do themselves. Greer pays Kelly a tense visit behind bars. He warns him that the prison is crawling with Russian mobsters, men who will want him dead before long. Greer urges Kelly to get a message to Secretary Clay. He has valuable intel, but is not talking unless he's freed. Back in his cell, the prison warden orders Kelly to face the wall. Kelly's instincts scream a warning: an attack is coming. Kelly refuses to comply. Instead, he braces himself for the coming ambush, flooding his cell to gain the upper hand. When the wardens storm in, he unleashes his military training, taking them down one by one in a brutal, calculated fight. Later, Greer pulls the right strings and negotiates Kelly's release, delivering him straight to the CIA's Covert Operations Command Center. In the tense briefing that follows, Kelly drops the name they've all been hunting for: the last man responsible for his wife's murder, Viktor Roykov. But the CIA insists Viktor is already dead. Ritter pushes back, revealing the truth. Viktor Roykov is very much alive, a former Spetsnaz officer turned mastermind, now hiding out in Murmansk, Russia. Weiss. Viktor was once a double agent, secretly running missions for the CIA while playing both sides. Viktor's twisted conviction that America can be crippled and humiliated with just a handful of carefully orchestrated attacks. Ritter lays out a risky plan. If Viktor is alive, they'll track him down and capture him. Off the books, under the radar. Kelly doesn't hesitate. He demands to be on the team. Greer pushes back hard, warning that Kelly's thirst for vengeance makes him too volatile to trust in the field. But Secretary Clay settles it once and for all. Kelly gets his shot, but when the mission ends, he goes straight back to prison to pay for what he's done. Later, the team suits up for the mission. Ritter drills it into them. No evidence of American involvement. That's why they're slipping in on a civilian flight to stay invisible. Kelly's gut twists when he finds out Ritter isn't flying with them. While gearing up, Kelly corners Greer. He wants the truth. Why did she try to boot him from the mission during the CIA briefing? To him, it's clear. She doesn't trust him anymore. Kelly confesses to Greer that he's here for one reason only: vengeance for his family. Greer tries to ground him, reminding him none of it was his fault. But mid-flight, everything unravels. Russian jet fighters zero in, blasting the plane out of the sky and sending it crashing in flames into the frigid Barents Sea. Amid the freezing chaos, Kelly risks it all, plunging back into the wreckage to salvage the vital gear, the Zodiac boat and the breathing tanks that mean life or death for the team. Against impossible odds, the battered unit pulls together and slips into Murmansk, Russia, ready to finish what they came to do. The team reels from the ambush, questioning how the Russians knew about their covert mission and managed to take down their plane. Kelly's suspicion sharpens like a blade. All signs point to Ritter. He reminds the others that Ritter was the one who shut down the investigation into Pam's murder and swore Rykov was dead. Now, he's conveniently the only member of the team who didn't board the doomed flight. When they finally regroup with Ritter, Kelly doesn't hold back. He demands answers. Why wasn't Ritter on that plane? And how did the Russians know exactly where to find them? Ritter swears he was one step ahead of them in Murmansk, working his local contacts and using bribes to track down Rykov's hideout. His sources confirm it. Rykov is holed up in an apartment building nearby. That night, the team moves in to execute the op, but Kelly breaks from the plan. Consumed by vengeance, he goes rogue, blowing the whole operation wide open just to face Rykov alone. Kelly hunts Rykov down and corners him, only to find him strapped into a suicide vest. Rykov sneezes and drops a bombshell. He's a deep-cover CIA asset. He taunts Kelly, claiming the attack on the U.S. is already in motion, unstoppable, and that bringing Kelly onto this mission was always part of the plan, a setup to guarantee he'd die in Murmansk. Before Kelly can react, Rykov triggers the vest. The explosion rips through the building, unleashing chaos and fire in every direction. The team soon finds themselves pinned down inside the building, trapped under relentless sniper fire with no clear way out. As bullets shred the walls and lock down every exit, the SEALs quickly map out a plan. Take out the sniper hidden in the second-floor window of the building across the street. Under a deadly hail of precision shots, they coordinate their moves. One mistake means none of them makes it out alive. Local police arrive at the scene, only to be cut down instantly by the sniper's ruthless fire. As the team holds their position under the onslaught, the awful truth clicks into place. The entire mission was a trap designed to get American soldiers killed on Russian soil and ignite a war between the U.S. and Russia. Kelly spells it out for them. The dead Russian planted in his house was part of the same setup. They wanted a body to be found. They wanted a spark for war. Seeing no way out, Kelly takes charge and devises an escape route for the team. But amid the brutal gunfire and vicious hand-to-hand combat, the SEALs keep getting pinned down. The building is crawling with Russian military. Realizing what has to be done, Kelly volunteers to stay behind and cover their retreat. As a convicted murderer, his death can be easily denied by the U.S. government. Kelly becomes a one-man barricade, drawing enemy fire from multiple rooftop positions and raining bullets to buy his brother's precious seconds to slip out the rear exit. Surrounded and bleeding out, Kelly makes a desperate move. He leaps back inside the building, fighting like a ghost against the swarm of FSB operatives. Alone and unstoppable, he cuts down more enemies, then triggers an explosion to mask his next move. Using the chaos as cover, he strips a police uniform off a fallen officer, hijacks an ambulance, and vanishes into the night. Against all odds, Kelly reunites with the surviving team at the safe house. Together, they slip out of Russia under the radar, escaping by boat into the dark. Kelly finally faces Ritter and offers an apology for doubting him. Ritter, in turn, officially declares Kelly dead, giving him the freedom to hunt down the real traitor behind the setup. Back in D.C., Kelly corners Clay and drags him into his car. When Kelly threatens Clay's family, the walls close in, and Clay breaks, confessing he orchestrated the intelligence leaks and deliberately fueled the conflict between the U.S. and Russia. Clay breaks down, confessing his twisted plan to spark a war with Russia, boost the economy and rally the American people against a common enemy. His cold ideology, a great nation needs a great enemy, a force that threatens the freedoms people take for granted, giving them purpose and unity. Unflinching, Kelly days him. Say your wife's name before you die. Kelly drives the car onto a bridge, then lets it plunge beneath the river's surface, drowning Clay in the cold depths. With a recording of Clay's confession safely in hand, Kelly escapes, thanks to Greer, who's waiting underwater with diving gear to pull him out. Later, at Washington Union Station, Greer hands Kelly a new identity courtesy of Ritter. He steps into the crowd and into a new life as John Clark. 1 year later, Clark sits down with a newly promoted deputy director Ritter. Together, they propose a bold new force, a multinational counterterrorism team, codenamed Rainbow. Thanks for watching.